Hello, my friends, and welcome to another pick a card reading where I'll be looking at what messages are coming through from your ancestors. Now, obviously, this is a general reading, so we're just going to be getting general themes, but it'll be really interesting to see what messages from your ancestors come through. And I feel really honored in doing this reading because it will be a, homage to them. So, like usual, or as usual, we have three piles. We have pile 1 with the Star Spinners Tarot, pile 2 with the Wild Unknown Tarot, and pile 3 with the Tarot of the Divine. Pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3. Timestamps will be in the description box below, and I'll see you at your reading. Bye. Hello, pile 1, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Star Spinners Tarot. Let's have a little look at your... I'll just pop that to the side. Let's have a little look at your oracle cards. You've got the Hunter. Wow. Interesting start. Okay. Debilitated discomfort. Okay, right. You have here Companion, and it's reversed. Loyalty, tenacity, unselfishness, alongside betrayal, mistrusting confidences, and loss of personal identity. And it is reversed, so that means the shadow attributes are prevalent. Interesting how we've got the yellow going across that way into the light, into the white there. Interesting. And then we've got abundance, which is lovely. And then we have mysticism, so we're looking at the third eye chakra here. Okay, so first and foremost, there's something about you being able to tune into your intuition to be able to understand how to go forward. You may be in a place or a space of discomfort, somewhere where you're not able to progress forward as quickly as you would like. With the Hunter card, there's this sense of you wanting to go forward. It's also number 9, so we've got a bit of a... Is that 9? Yeah, 9. So there's a bit of a sense of you... That's Hermit energy. So it's very... But we've also got like Chariot energy with that horse there. So there's something that's telling me that your ancestors are telling you, first and foremost, you are not alone, okay? You are not alone, and neither are you alone in this issue that you may be dealing with. And that's not to say that it might be like, that they've passed it down to you or whatever, but it seems like they suffered the same thing. Seems like they went through the same thing. It's really interesting because this card in this deck, I do resonate with it in the respect that when I did ayahuasca, that card... That is exactly how the spaces I was in completely throughout, like maybe 8 hours of the whole experience. And it was a really unpleasant experience. It just wasn't comfortable at all. But I really like this card. I really like it because it just signifies that. And, it's all about staying within that space of discomfort and being able to, understand that everything changes. It's really difficult to see that when you're in the position of discomfort. But it really does change. And with that Hunter card, it kind of shows me that you will go out there and you will get it. You will do what you have to do in order to get what you need to. There's something about relationships with others. I do feel a little bit of with the betrayal of misusing confidences, loss of personal identity, there is something a little bit shapeshiftery about it. So it means that you kind of... And also with this mysticism card, it's almost like that kind of sense of... And everyone does this, okay? So just take this as it resonates. But, we kind of like merge and mold into the places where we need to, what fits us best, really. Like, if we know that we're in a situation that it would be best if we behaved a certain way, we do it. Do you know what I mean? Even on a mundane level, for example, like you wouldn't be screaming in a cinema. Everybody has a kind of generalized consensus that they're going to keep quiet when the film comes on. maybe they might talk and eat popcorn really loudly, but generally they do kind of, keep quiet because they know that that's what, other people need to watch the film. So there's something like that in that respect. So those kind of boundaries. But I think when it comes to your personal boundaries, there may be that sense of being stuck, not being able to go forward, not being able to push forward your own identity. With the abundance card there, though, this also means to me, and also because we've got this yellow energy that's happening, there is something, I don't know if it's like a long game thing that you're thinking about. So maybe just kind of finances. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing money here with that companion card. So I don't know. This is quite random. But you might be engaging in these relationships because you know that it will financially benefit you. And I don't think that might be intentional. It might be a business proposition where you're like, right, okay, you're kind of like stuck in this position where, you have to commit. Say you've been in this, you've signed a contract for maybe about a couple of years where you've got to like do this certain thing with someone. And that there is like long-term gains, but right now it's quite difficult and you're finding you're compromising yourself rather than you being able to follow your own kind of destiny or your own kind of wants and needs within the company, as an analogy, as an example. With the mysticism, it also shows to me that this is your opportunity, that even if you're in a debilitated state where you're not able to move forward in that respect, that your third eye and your awareness, I was going to say hyper awareness, so that's interesting. So that means you must be of a really high level in terms of being able to tune into your intuition. I feel that you using your third eye and your awareness, your extra sensory perception is going to be really useful in helping you navigate this situation. The ancestors are speaking to me now to tell me that you speak to them, talk to them, use this word, and there's a door there. So there's definitely something about you connecting to them and not being afraid to connect to them. Speak to them, talk to them. You can just talk to them just like as you would like doing a prayer or something like that. So yeah, that's the first initial message. Let's see what other messages will come through with the tarot. Okay, first, wow, the Fool. Nice. Very nice. Dear Spirit, what messages for pile 1? Dear Ancestors. 6 of Cups reversed. The Star reversed. You want me to take that one, okay? Ace of Cups. We've also got Justice. Interesting with Justice and... Okay, right. The Ten of Swords reversed. And then we've got the Ace of Swords. All right. So what I'm seeing here is... Do not let the memories of the past taint your future, even though they may provide some kind of blueprint. Bear with me 1 second. Well, actually, they may provide some kind of blueprint for you to navigate the future. So it's almost like you have to erase that. You have to forget that, because it's almost like the thing that had to happen. That had to happen for that very reason. It was the way it was meant to be. It was actually that way so that you could gain a new start. It's really interesting. They're aces. They're both aces, but they look really different. So you've got 2 aces here. This is a new start, pile 1. New start. Bear me 1 second. For those of you that see my whole setup before, rather than me just focusing on the cards, I've got like 3 candles here, or 3 like kind of tea light things here. And if any of them go out during the readings, I have to light them. So what we have, is that whatever happened in your past even though it did not seem like it was good. It seemed like it was really unfair. It seemed like it was quite unhappy, even though you tried to kind of go in with a sense of naivety and try and go in with a sense of kind of just openness in this space. Still, your ancestors are behind you to use this pain to propel you forward. It's almost like you've got this one sword here that's saying to you, take that and make it the Ace of Swords. Communicate your desires. So even if you're in this space where you're not able to move forward, you're actually in a space where you can, there's something here that's bubbling up for you to be able to take an opportunity. It's almost like, it's almost like this is pushing you to assimilate your words in a really clear, concise way, and your thoughts, so that you can put them across, and then you can kind of step forward with the truth. That's what I'm seeing. Lots of new starts though. I mean, the Fool, the Ace of Chalices, the Ace of Cups, Justice, the Star. You know, you've got some really strong cards here to tell me that this is a new beginning for you. It's an opportunity. Even though you may feel that you're stuck, it's actually en route to a new beginning. If anything, it is part of the new beginning. And the fact that you're like not being given much hope, and also things may not have worked out in the past, that's just collateral damage. It's just collateral. It's nothing that's going to be long lasting. So yeah. Okay, let's see what the other cards have to say. What messages are there from ancestors for pile 1? 3 of Pentacles. You have to learn how to work with this. It's interesting because we've got 3 of Pentacles here. Like, that's interesting. So not even 3 Pentacles, but 3 coins. And the 3 of Pentacles is usually represented by 3 coins. The 7 of... So you weren't allowed to express yourself before. The 7 of Wands. The Weaver, that's the Page of Swords. Yeah, there was something that you weren't allowed to communicate. You weren't allowed to do it before, but it's because it wasn't the right time for you to do that. And then you've also got the Cosmic Tree as well reversed, which is interesting. Interesting. Can you see that? So you've got 9 and 9. So you're on the cusp. You're on the cusp of this cycle. Pile 1, you're at stage 9, you're at part 9. Something was innately wrong about the situation previously, which is why it couldn't come about, which is why it couldn't work beforehand. I'm feeling like this is to do with work because we've got that abundance card there. I'm not really feeling like anything love-wise, but the thing is that we've also got, sorry, I'm just rubbing my hands because my fingertips are freezing, but like what with this, it's almost like you've got the opportunity to take something forward that's really going to make you feel passionate about it. It's not going to be something that you're going to be half-hearted about. And that consistency of energy that you have to be able to move forward in that, please try and keep that. I think it's really valuable. It's very precious. Very, very precious. Definitely something about the divine spark. If you do any meditations with candles, flames, I think that's something that might be very useful for you. Pile 1. Wow, so you've got, again, wow, so all of these, they're all reversed. What the fudge cakes? Okay, right. So that's the High Priestess and the Empress reversed. I feel like you have to ride it out with this person. Whoever you're associating with, you need to get away from this person. 7 of Pentacles. Sorry, yeah, 7 of Pentacles. So we've got 7, we've got 7s, 9s, 5s, 3s. 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, so we've got all the odd numbers really, and then 1. So yeah, we've got the odd numbers. This is a tricksy place that you're in, pile 1, and your ancestors recognize that. They're saying to you, ask them for support, be with them. I really do, actually, I just see that now. So I think that what happened is that they were also working through the same problem as well. That's why it's reversed. Whenever I do something for people who have gone, or whenever it's been interesting, whenever I've had readings for people who've gone, the actual, like, the reversals come out full flow. It's almost like the other side is like coming through to contact. So this to me says that this is the same thing. It's not so, I don't think that you may be breaking karmic cycles, you may be, but I don't know, I think it's more than that, or I think it's something different. I think it's more to do with the fact that they resonate with the fact that you are going through this issue where you're not able to push forward because of certain people that are around you, and they're saying to you that they had the same issue. Now, one thing that we learned in mediumship, and the reason why I just laughed just then, was that, you know, sometimes we go to people to try and get answers, right? But if they didn't have the answers when they were alive, I think it's a bit presumptuous to think that they might have the answers when they're gone. So all they can do is just help you from the position that they're in, help them from their knowing position and how you knew them. Because that's the kind of dynamic that's going to come forward. They're not going to come up with some magical answer. That's going to be something else. That's actually going to be coming from you. So, as I said, like, I don't know if it's like actually fixing karmic cycles or anything like that. I just feel like you have got support in a space where you may feel that you are alone. They didn't have the intuition that you have. They didn't have the opportunities that you have. They didn't have the opportunity to work things through, but it's almost like you've been given a second chance. It's also, I don't know, with this particular card, I just, you know, I don't really see the Hermit reversed. I see the Cosmic Tree reversed. So with this, I think I've mentioned it before, I kind of see the opposite of the Tree of Life. I see the Tree of Death. So it's like, there's a bit devil energy about it. Coming out before you were ready, doing things before you were ready, a little bit wet behind the ears, and that matches with the Weaver energy as well. And also the Seven of Embers. So it's almost like there was an impetus to, basically what they're saying is, like, don't do the same mistakes that they did. That's what they're saying. But it's weird. It's not your, like, I know this is not traditional, but it's not like your normal karmic cycle where it's like, oh, this has haunted us through lifetimes. It hasn't. Like, I don't think this has. I think what this is just a similar issue. And it just happens to, there we go. It happens to be because of your personality traits. And that's not the same as generational trauma. Generational trauma is something else, but this is just an issue of personality traits. So it's about you being able to transcend your own personality in a way so that you don't make the same mistakes. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Because if it was I don't know, I just see different cards here for generational trauma, but I don't see that here. It's not as deep as that, you know? It's a little bit lighter. So what your ancestors are saying is just don't make the same mistakes that we did. We did some silly things. We didn't make the right decisions in our financial life, in our material life. So do something a little bit different in that respect, because there are traits within the family lineage that may veer towards that. So for example, if you tend to get like emotionally trapped with people that really aren't that good for you in the respects of business when they're promising something, that might be something that they did, you know? And that's nothing to do with like generational trauma or anything like that. That's just a choice that people might have made, you know? And just personality wise. Interesting. Wow, thanks for letting me channel that, ancestors. Thank you. Okay, so let's have a look at okay, so you got altar, and it's 13 in Mercury and in Sagittarius, no, in Saturn. Okay, I might need to put this down. I do try and like open the books one-handed, but it just doesn't work out. Right, so altar, it's in Virgo, but it's ruled by Mercury and Saturn. The dog star, interesting. The dog stars, the wings of Virgo. So the status quo is to be maintained at all costs. The altar represents thinking that that has become a ritual and a habit. Although the atmosphere... Wow. So this card is saying that you're being forced to behave in a way that others expect you to behave. So this is part of it. And I don't know, do you know what I just, like with her hair, it's like a cloud. So what I'm getting by that, and also by the bracelets and stuff, so I'm thinking that this is going to pass. Yeah, this is about you being able to harness the ability to be able, so if we go back to what I covered here, yeah. So you've got the ability, you've got basically another chance to be able to learn from the past and not lose hope, because it does seem like it's lacking in hope. And understanding that this is actually the way it needs to go. You know, things just kind of happen because you're actually reacting to the external forces. So it's just inevitable that these things are going to crop up. It's nobody's fault. It's nobody's, like, you know, it isn't something that you could have avoided. It's actually something that needed to happen. But here with these three, you've got a real opportunity to be able to turn the sorrow into gold and be able to turn that into a new opportunity where you can actually fulfill yourself in an emotional capacity and also communicate yourself in an emotional capacity. So that's what that's saying. So you're in this position to be able to work through it. Basically, it's actually like it is a lesson, but it's not maybe a karmic. I don't know about these labels, but whatever you want to call it, I don't think it's. And I know that your ancestors suffered with it, but as I said, like I don't think it's passed down from them. It's just like something that just happens, and you just happen to be suffering with the same thing, and your ancestors are giving you a heads up about it. That's what I get. So, okay, let's have a look at your other cards. Third eye chakra. Look, same color as well, right? Third eye chakra, the frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and inner knowing, our imagination and psychic powers. Whatever you need to do to increase that exercise is really good. There's a pose called the fish pose, which is really good in yoga. Try that out if you can. A Catriel. Now, a Catriel is a really strong angel, so it means that you... I've forgotten what the actual... the word is for it, bear with me, or not the word, but he's got a beautiful word, glory. So do not compare yourself to others. I don't know, like you might be comparing yourself to the other people that are like around you. We do have this yellow color again. You're more of a light than you anticipate, and I think it's important that you just kind of stick with yourself and really believe in yourself, because there may be a tendency, if you're stuck in a situation where you're not being allowed to communicate who you truly are, you might end up, lessening your own kind of views in order to fit in. And it's saying, no, don't do that. Glory. It's about you stepping forward and being really true. It's got the Vitruvian, the emblem of the Vitruvian man here. So something about this is something about what what you contribute to this situation is very, very revolutionary. It's very different, and it's very important that you stick with that. Regeneration. So using this time that you can't step forward to regenerate, to come forward, to be able to take this action, which I identified in the first layer of tarot. So that's what this is about. And again, just all these eyes, it's about you keeping your eyes peeled and open, pile one. You have to watch everything. You really do, because I don't know, that's how you can like step up your game, you know what I mean? And that's how you can really, hunters have to really watch what they're doing. They have to with kind of what's the word? with laser-like precision to see their target, you know. So I've got you here, sincerity, Cherville, lesser purple emperor. Interesting, beautiful, really beautiful. So this is just some, you know, like how like, you know, grandfathers or grandmothers, they give you some nice little treats for you, some either sweets or something like that. I don't know. This was the deck that kind of made me think of that. So sincerity, they'll always be there for you. Remember that you have your guides and your ancestors looking after you, and that they are supporting you through this time, helping you to. They're going to back you up. They got your back. Do you know what I mean? So just remember that they are there, and just acting with sincerity will really bolster that. And then you've also got serenity. Amazing. So you've got sincerity and serenity. So lavender and Provençal fritillary. Oh, that's so cute. There's a lot of purple going on here, pile 1. A lot of purple. So we've got definitely third eye chakra the whole way. So sincerity, truthfulness, and serenity, peacefulness. So yeah, and you know that kind of sense of peacefulness that we feel when we're with like people who are older and we just chill with them and relax. It's that kind of sense of peacefulness that will really help you to get through this time, because you're stuck in that place, you know. So better that you have a peaceful time rather than just continuing to try and struggle and get out of it. So I think that's all I have for you, pile 1. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos if you haven't done so already. But otherwise, my darlings, it's been a pleasure and an honour to channel your ancestors. I really hope that you are able to heed their messages. And I'll see you in the next reading. Take care, my darlings. Bye. Hello, pile 2, and welcome to your reading. So you chose the Wild Unknown Tarot. And let's have a look at your oracle cards. Okay, so you have the Heart. Beautiful. We have Mentor, which is reverse, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. Interesting how we have this like older character with the bird wing. And then we have Shadow Attributes, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master, imparting false information. Okay. Excuse me, that's quite a clear message. And then we have Confusion. And that's the crown chakra, I think. And then we have Healing Energy. Third house, communication. So what I'm getting here is that there has been a message that's been misconstrued. It could possibly be a message that was given to maybe some of your other ancestors, or maybe some of your other siblings, just other people in your family that have connections with these ancestors. And it's just not been, you know, even though that the message was really, you know, it was a good thing, it was there was all good intentions, it kind of went ski whiff. Something didn't go straight, and your ancestors want to tell you that they tried to do it in a really straightforward way, but it didn't quite work out. We've got, from the Heart energy, we've got 30, 31, that's 4. We've also got 41, which is really interesting. So that's 5, 22. Okay, right. So those are the numbers we have. But yeah, there just seems like the intentions were really good. They really wanted to kind of do something really good for you, but something might have happened along the way. And actually, even more so now, they're feeling like this is the perfect opportunity to communicate with you, to be able to right this wrong. Okay, let's see what the or correct the message, basically. Let's see what the tarot has to say for you, pile 2. High Priestess. Yeah, the intuition is really high here, really high. It's a beautiful, I'm just getting a really beautiful energy of love. And I'm hearing I'm sorry. We have the Tower reversed. We also have the Four of Cups. You want to take these as well? Okay. And then the Three of Wands reversed, the Chariot, the Mother of Swords reversed, and the Daughter of Cups. I hear we didn't know what we were doing. We were too young, inexperienced. Familiar, a similar message to pile 1. I'm just rubbing my hands because it's really cold. My hands get really, really cold of late because it's really cold here. So yeah, there was something about somebody knew that something was going to happen, but was unable to communicate it, was unable to warn people. People didn't really want to listen to them about this situation. They didn't want to hear it, basically. And in the end, everything kind of like went up the creek. Things just didn't, it didn't work out. Maybe things got destroyed. Maybe things, I don't know. I just see like quite a bad image of destruction kind of going on. And I was just thinking, but that we don't have the Tower, but we do have the Tower. With that Tower reversed, though, I'm just feeling, and also with this Four of Cups, it's almost like people are not listening to the warning signs of before. This may be something to do with a health issue, and it might be to do with the chest area, so do go and get that checked out. Maybe high blood pressure or something like that. I don't usually say about health-wise, but just something to look at, maybe. Also, we've got the Mother of Swords as well, and the Daughter of Cups. So I'm just thinking that maybe there's just maybe some belligerent energy in respect of the female side. So there may have been one female who was deeply intuitive and deeply connected to their emotions and being able to communicate their emotions, but this was resented by someone, and there was kind of this tug of war in the respect of this Daughter of Cups. Instead of allowing actually, it's more so that the energy, because the Mother of Swords is the way it is, only the Daughter of Cups could come out rather than the Queen of Cups, or rather than the Empress. That makes more sense. It's almost like somebody doubted themselves. They doubted coming forward. They doubted themselves. And in the end, because they held back, it resulted in something quite, quite disastrous. And it's almost like there's another chance with you to be able to bring this to the surface and be able to heal it. Again, I'm not getting this sense of you're healing ancestral trauma. I don't. This reading is not about that. This reading is about just the messages that your ancestors want to deliver to you. It's almost like a kind of pep talk in a way. The ancestral trauma is a different thing, and that's a different reading. That's a bigger reading, a much bigger reading, which this is a little bit shorter. This is just more like the initial messages coming through. So maybe it's like a prep, maybe it's like a precursor, a starter, as you will. But what I'm getting here is that there was something that was misconstrued, a warning that was not allowed to, not even not allowed, it just wasn't listened to. And the reason why was because the sense of conviction that was there from the people who were saying the message wasn't there as well. They were also in a sense of self-doubt, even though they kind of knew that they were right. But you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. So there was a real kind of effort to kind of bring something forward. And it might be to do with the mother as well, about a female caregiver in your life that that may have not been very accommodating to your opinions and may have said things to you, and now it's manifested as kind of like those thought forms. And it's also led to you becoming a lot more emotionally congruent, a lot more emotionally involved, a lot more emotional, basically. You're a lot more in touch with your emotions. So in a way, it's helped out a lot. There's been this gateway. And because also what's really interesting is that I really feel clearly, and I can hear it, that your ancestors are thinking that you're a gateway to kind of portray these messages to. So I don't know if you do any mediumship or anything like that, or you talk to your ancestors. I mean, I said this to pile 1, but it's a little bit like there's more of a direct message saying you are meant to communicate with us here. So particularly with that 3 of Wands reversed, it's almost like through your trauma or through whatever kind of stuff that you've had to go through, not just with family, but just generally, that's going to help you to, and it does normally, that's a very general thing in terms of the spiritual community, but usually if you have some kind of like trauma or something like that, or basically the harder your path, the more kind of psychic you get in a way. So, you know, usually people who've been through like some big traumas when they were young, or just generally, usually it gives way to something new, a new superpower that comes through, whatever it is. So like, for example, if you lose your sense of taste, it's been said that, you know, your other sense, or your sense of sight, it's been said that your other senses become more heightened. So it's like that kind of thing. So I see that you've got like a real kind of, you know, maybe there wasn't, I don't know, I do also get the sense of like, maybe like a grandmother had really good intuition and it's jumped to generation and now it's you know. So that might be the case. Or grandfather, it doesn't have to be female, it could be either male or female, but the energy is of the High Priestess. Let's get some more. Dear ancestors of pile 2, could you please give me some more messages? Is that all right? The 9 of birds, 10 of wands. There was an inability to speak. There was an inability to communicate what they really wanted. The composer, which I think is the Queen of... Yeah, it's the Queen of Cups, I think. The composer, or is it the Page of Cups? Okay, composer is the Page of Cups. So we've got 2 pages of cups here. Interesting. So it's something about allowing the intuition to guide you rather than searching for the intuition. What I hear is like whispers of your ancestors calling to you to move towards your intuition, pile 2. That's what I see here. They're trying to communicate with you. And they found it really difficult to do so. I don't know if you've been going through some stuff or whatever, like, and you've not been able to be in touch with your spirituality, but they're asking you to take some time out to do that. Keep trying. Keep trying. Keep doing it. Because you've got some real talent here. You've got a real ability to be able to do it. To be able to cultivate this this skill. The Weaver, that's the Page of Swords. Page of Cups, Page of Swords. This is in its infancy, this energy. The Maze reversed, which is Temperance reversed, that's the Chariot. You may deny it. You may give, I don't know, I just see this sense of you giving up. Like you don't get very far and then you give up. Like you may think, what is this stuff? What am I doing? And keep trying, keep persevering, keep going through it. Past lives, that's death reversed. Wow, okay. And it's because there wasn't an ability to be able, because of that, it's that Mother of Swords. So I don't know, it might, I do really feel like it's missed a generation. And then that generation, or you may have people around you that are saying to you that this is not possible. What you're doing is, it's just a load of rubbish. It's all like, it's all woo-woo. That's what I'm getting, that kind of vibe. and the Commander, which is the King of Pentacles. Wow. I mean, it's almost like you need to use your materialistic sense in order to dive deeper into your intuition. Does that make sense? So it means that you need to take a more kind of a more direct approach in how you attack your a more direct approach in how you attack your spirituality, how you move forward with that. I hope that makes some sense, pile 2. Anything else that you want to say to me, dear ancestors? I just realised that's why it's so cold, because I'm talking to people who've gone, and of course it gets cold when that happens. But it's not super cold. It's almost like I'm comfortable with it, which is good. Whereas like before, I've had to like have hot water bottles on my lap while I'm doing the readings. Okay. So yeah, I think there's just a more direct approach to your spirituality, and also in communicating, making more of a concerted effort. So for example, you're going to make an effort to talk to your ancestors, quite literally. They're saying, talk to us. We want to give you stuff. We want to help you out. And you're not letting us. That's what it's saying. Okay, let's see what this has to say. I have to look in the book for this guy, so I've got the book ready. Oh, we've got the first quarter, waxing water moon, which is leaves, and it's choice. Okay, so first quarter moon. Let's have a look. But this is a little bit difficult because they don't have any. Oh, was that it? No. Bear me 1 second. I might need to pause. So it seems to me, pile 2, that you have a choice in how you listen to other people. I don't know if it sounds like it sounds like interesting. You may need to talk to people about what's going on, like about, what's their opinion in terms of like talking with ancestors. I know that sounds so random, but we're in this business. Excuse me, we're in this place where we're talking to the ancestors. Talk to people and they will appear. They will appear like you wouldn't believe. You'd just be like, what? What's going on? So I think it's important that you just see who you can speak to about this. See who you can talk to about this and talk to them. Find out about how you can communicate with your ancestors about this issue. Because, well, I don't know, it doesn't really seem like there isn't a specific issue. The main thing here is that it just feels like they want to get in contact with you. They're like saying, oh, can you pass on the message? I'm trying to contact her. So can you tell them to can you tell them to give me a call or to ring me? So yeah, it's quite a straightforward message, part 2. It's really interesting. Okay, so we've got release and renewal. So there's something that you may need to release in order to receive the messages here. And then we also have Sachiel, which is community, which is charity actually. So there's the sense of like giving, and also again we're coming back to this thing of where you kind of believe in this thing which it may not seem. I mean, I don't know. You may have the belief that you don't believe that can occur. You might not think that you can actually talk to your ancestors. It might be a bit woo-woo, as I said before. This is something that needs to be addressed because we've got like the most esoteric of the angels out with the cards, with the dice, with the Romany Gypsy. It's like that kind of vibe. You've just got to kind of believe before you see it in a way. I'm coaching a client at the moment who isn't into any of that at all at the moment, and she said that she was going to give it a go, and she was astounded by the results, like in communicating with someone that had passed. So try it. It really is amazing, and your ancestors are kind of shouting at me to get you to do it, so please do it. So Cosmic flower, the frequency of the cosmic flower activates the remembrance of the place we call home, the core of which we pour our magnificence into the world. Again, we've got a 9 here. 9, no, it wasn't you actually, it was pile 1. So the 9, so with this cosmic flower card, I kind of feel that there's something about you just believing in this sense of yourself. Just taking a bit of a leap of faith, pile 2. Yeah, it's about a leap of faith, I think, here. Because you've got a very kind of like, not stoic, that's not the word. It's a very, we would call it materialistic. So there's something that doesn't really connect with the spiritual. You may be deeply spiritual, but then there may be something that might be outside of the spirituality that you might need to connect with in order to get into this frame of mind to connect with your ancestors. So, but they want to communicate with you, and they have messages to give you. They have love to give you. They have healing energy to give you. They want to connect with you. Okay, so we've got beauty here. When you see the beauty in things, right, that's when you can connect to that real sense of awe and wonder. And that's the magic point. You know, sometimes when you're training people to kind of connect with that spiritual side of themselves, the thing that leaves them in a sense of awe and wonder and beauty is the thing that really cultivates that. You know, where you know nothing, where you suspend your belief. You kind of are in this place of awe. So that's really important. And then it's the orchid as well. So we've got some deep spirituality going here. I think you've definitely got the seeds of it, of the seeds of being able to like tap into this power, but you have to believe that you can cultivate this power. It doesn't just happen. It's a muscle. Just like you go to the gym, you have to work at it. You know, everybody's got it, but it's whoever can actually work the kind of the muscle up to a certain sense so that it will be more potent. And then we have prosperity, allium and the Brazilian swallowtail. Interesting. So you're destined to be very to do really well in this. Even though you may not feel that you have a richness in that side of yourself, it's very important for you to do that. You will have that. Like, it's almost like that, you know, you feel that there may be some kind of poverty in the respect of like maybe the level of kind of spiritual ability or psychic ability that you have, but actually you're pretty rich in that area. So so tap into that richness, so that your ancestors can really help you. Your ancestors really want to give that to you, because this high priestess was somebody who was quite she went through a lot. She went through a lot. But yeah, she was deeply psychic. Deeply. She was like, I don't know, psychic grandmother, grandfather, somebody very, very psychic, and very spiritually powerful. And this has gone to you. So you have to tap into this prosperity. Your ancestors are screaming for you to do it. They're like, tell them about to open up their third eye so that I can talk to them. Obviously, like, you need to do it with a certain sense of decorum, and you need to be careful, because we can't just open our third eye to just everything and every, like, you know, it's about having a sense of discernment. Whenever you go into these spaces where you open up like these energies to you, always make sure that you invoke protection. If you remember this person in real life, really pay attention to the attitude and the way that they were in real life, because they will behave exactly like that. Anybody who doesn't behave in that way or doesn't sound like that person, that's probably not them. So that's really important in discerning, like just like as you would if you were meeting someone on the street and then they tell you that they're your grandmother or whatever, and you're like, hang on a minute, how can you say that you're my grandmother? And unless it looks like your grandmother, may talk like your grandmother, but is it your grandmother? Do you know what I mean? Just make sure that you're just really discerning like that. And I think you're pretty good with that because you've got the commander here. So you've got some good skills in the 3D that will help you on this spiritual plane. So utilize them. Okay, pile 2, those are your messages. I hope you enjoyed them. They're pretty loud from your ancestral team. They're pretty clear, not loud. Thank you so much. It's an honor to read for you and to pass on these messages from your ancestors. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did like it, please do give it a thumbs up. Please do subscribe for more videos. Otherwise, my darlings, I shall see you very soon. Take care. Bye. Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So this is what your ancestors are wanting to say to you. You chose the Tower of the Divine. So let's have a little look at your archetype cards. So you've got the Kiss. Beautiful. Interesting. And then we have Athlete, which is dedication to transcending values, physical limits, including handicaps, development of personal willpower and strength of spirit, a misuse of athletic ability for selfish ends, false sense of invulnerability and entitlement. Okay. So this seems to me like there's a blessing here. And we've got bittersweet. Okay, bittersweet. We've got forgiveness. Okay, we've got third eye chakra and also Vishuddha chakra, which is the throat chakra. And then we have second house resources, which is Taurus, the ruler of Taurus. Okay, or the ruler is Taurus. Yeah, this is a blessing, pile 3. A blessing to take some kind of comfort in what you kind of have, and that, you know, you do have a, you know, like to be reassured in the sense of stability that you may have within yourself. Your ancestors are reminding you that, you know, this is inherited good traits, basically. I don't think we're touching on any kind of ancestral trauma, really, within these readings. It's more kind of like traits and stuff. So what I'm sensing here is that it's more about, you know, what's the good things that you inherited from your ancestors. And it seems like you've inherited something very beautiful from them in the respect of how you, like there's just blessings here I can feel. And it's interesting how on this card they've got like somebody's giving them a cake, but then this person, I don't know. No, they're looking quite happy about it. So yeah, somebody's giving them a cake. So there's blessings. There's blessings here. You may have certain talents that really help you in this lifetime. That help you. And your ancestors are saying that, yeah, we had them too. So, yeah, enjoy them. Enjoy them. I hope you're enjoying them. I hope you're able to allow yourself to enjoy them for what they are. And if you're, I don't know, I just get that sense. When I saw that forgiveness card, I just thought, oh, are you trying to maybe think that it's not enough? You might think that it's more. You might think that you need to do more, or that you might need to achieve more, or that they may need to just, you know, it needs to kind of keep on going, keep on getting better and better and better and more and more and more. And it's like, oh, you know, maybe you achieve something at one stage and then it's like, oh, because you're always in this sense of wanting, then there may be you wanting more. And then in that sense, it may be bittersweet. Maybe. You have the Emperor. All right, then, yes. The Ace of Cups. The Page of Swords. The Page of Cups. Interesting how the pages have been coming up. These pages came up in pile 1. The Queen of Coins. 3 of Wands. Wow, Empress reversed. And I was just thinking there's a lot of people and this is really good, but with the Empress reversed, this is interesting. So, I mean, you know, what I get here, and Six of Wands is reversed here, is that there may have been a situation where children were prized, but then the partner wasn't, if that makes any sense. Because this particular like sense of the Three of Wands, she actually had to sacrifice her little finger in order to get up this ladder of bones. So there's something about the female sacrificing, like the female was able to provide something materialistically, but still didn't meet it didn't seem to be at the same level as the Emperor. So there was something about this Empress energy that wasn't allowed to come forward. It wasn't allowed to come into light. Like, it's almost like that the material needs of the home were accounted for, but the emotional needs of the home wasn't, in respect to like a counterpart dynamic. But when it came to making sure that the children were looked after, or that everybody had food on the table, or that, you know, there's this kind of thing that I feel here. So that's where we get the bittersweet energy from, and then with this Empress reversed. And what your ancestors are trying to tell you is that it's all well and good that you fight for, or you try and, like, you know, go for... I've just realised exactly what that kiss is. It's really all well and good that you strive for a sense of stability within your life. And that's really great. And you give all the love that you can to, you know, the unconditional love. But don't forget about your divine counterpart. Don't forget about the person that helps you get there. So, for example, if you're in a relationship and you're with someone and you've like built up this thing, sometimes you can get so dogged down in the kind of responsibilities of being in a family that you end up forgetting about your partner. And that's why the kiss is there, because there needs to be some sensuality, some love there, some intimacy, like just something between the Emperor and the Empress in order to combine that, because the Empress is not able to feel that from this situation. She's giving. The Ace of Cups is there. The Three of Wands is there. So definitely setting people up for a really good trajectory, and also like launching pad. It's an amazing home to be in, but it just feels like it's not, you know, between the Emperor and the Empress, I don't see any. I don't see like sensual love, intimacy. I don't feel it. I'm feeling really cold. So there needs to be some warmth that's generated here. We need fire energy. We need wands here. We have got Three of Wands, but it's in the distance. So yeah, that's what I'm sensing. That's the message from your ancestors pile. 3. Infinite paths. That is the sun, I think. 19. Yeah, it's the sun. The Wheel of Fortune. That's the life map. The Five of Cups reversed. The Five of Lotuses reversed. The Protector, which is the King of Pentacles, the King of Wands. The Nine of Birds, which is the Nine of Swords. The Crow, which is the Magician. And the Two of Cups. Yeah, cherish your relationship. Whatever it is, pile 2. If you're single and you're not in a relationship, pile 3, make sure you cultivate, make sure you understand the balance really clearly between your relationship and your work. It's really important, because this is your destiny to make sure that you don't, you make sure that everybody just feels great, because you do a lot to make sure that everybody feels great, but there's just something like with this Five of Lotuses and the Two of Lotuses here, it's about relationship. It's about It's about finding the love, if you're not with anyone, being in love with yourself. And if you're with someone, show them that you care about them. Do something for them. Do something amazing for them. Love your partner, love your spouse, love your boyfriend, your girlfriend, love that person. Because everything else is great. Everything else is really good. You've really got that in order. But and it's almost like you put on an impression to people outside of the situation that it's all good. But really, there's something cold and missing within this connection. There's something not there, and everything is just there, right for the taking. And this is just something that I don't know if it happened to your ancestors. In fact, I feel like your ancestors had an amazing relationship. I feel like they had a really good ability to be able to work together. But I feel like they're seeing that that's not work. It's not happening in this with you. That's why they're trying to say to you, look, remember your partner. You know, I was sitting on the train and I saw this beautiful older, I think they were Caribbean, or I don't know. They definitely looked West Indian. So they were from the Caribbean. And they were like, there was one guy, and this guy was chatting to his wife, and it was just so beautiful. They just looked so in love with each other, and they were laughing and they were joking, and everybody on the train was looking at them because they were just like, oh, this old couple are doing that. And I was just like, this is gorgeous, and I was smiling at them. And then there was a guy sat next to them. He'd just come back from work, and he just sat down, and then he started playing on his phone, as people do when they sit on the train. And he basically the guy looked at the man from the couple. He looked over at the guy and said, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he goes, "Oh, I'm playing a game." He goes, "I go and play with my wife." And I laughed. And I thought, wow, that's just so beautiful. People just interacting with each other, talking to each other, not getting stuck in the kind of dreary, not dreary, it's busy. We think we're so busy, and then before we know it, we're going to die. And then what have we done? We've neglected those relationships that, we really should have taken more account of when we were in them. It's not about just getting the goal and being the number one or whatever. If you haven't got anybody to share it with, what's the point? So it seems like you've got a beautiful opportunity. You've got a wonderful life. You've made this amazing kind of space for you to embrace this. But it seems like it's just a bit of and this isn't necessarily it's just basically the male energy is more dominant within the relationship, and the female energy is lacking. It's afflicted. So what needs to come into balance? Whether it doesn't matter about sexes, it could be either or. It could be that it doesn't matter about gender. So it's just that there's an imbalance where one person within the relationship is not feeling like they are the empress. They're not feeling like they've got that energy in the relationship, and they feel like they're just functioning on a kind of a standard level where they're just there to kind of make sure that everything is in order, financially, security, to make sure that everything's there, but emotionally it's not there. So yeah, that's the message your ancestors are wanting to put across to you. Pile 3, they're saying to you, embrace your lover. And if you haven't got if you're not in a relationship, embrace, make sure that you embrace yourself, so that when you are in a relationship, the love of your life is felt to be embraced. Okay, so we've got Earth and we've got emergence. Wow. So Mother Earth, connecting with Earth. If you do anything like go out in nature together, or maybe plan a trip or something like that together, where you just get to spend some time with each other, that might be really nice. Mother Nature is very good. It's very good at stoking up that sexual fire. It's really good. So yeah, do that for yourselves, and also if you're single, it doesn't matter. Emergence. The frequency of emergence allows us to approach our reality with a childlike attitude of innocence and wonderment, and to watch and celebrate the beauty that unfolds from that place. So it's something that needs to kind of, and 24 and 25, so there's something that needs to it needs to be reignited, I'm seeing. We do have some wands finally. We have the King of Wands, which is amazing. I mean, you know, it's a good start. Or it's a good, it means it's more mature, like you're coming from a mature level, but there may need to be something of the, like the page energy that needs to kind of come forward with that kind of childlike innocence, that kind of sweetness. Okay, and then we've got the last quarter, waning water moon, which is manipulation. I'm just going to place that there, and I just need to look it up in the book, so bear with me 1 second, my loves. So my loves, I don't know, like it seems to me that this is about you being put into a situation where you're feeling like you have to do something because, you know, you've got commitments or whatever, and that is a form of manipulation. I don't know, I did see it like with a friend of mine who, you know, felt like she was totally devoted to her kids and kind of allowed herself to not dedicate any time to herself because she was so devoted to her kids. And every time I questioned her about like her doing something for herself, she would say to me about the kids and about how the kids were like really important to her life. Not to her life, but how, you know, they were the excuse of why she couldn't do stuff. And that's what that's saying. It's saying like that might be an interesting thing to think about there. You've also got Jehudiel, which is, God, I just looked at that and and it just flew out my head, leadership and endeavor. So I'm assisting you with your spiritual endeavor. You are a natural leader. Stay true to your integrity. So like this will help you to understand that you're in this relationship for a reason, right? You're with the Emperor because you're the Empress. So remember that. Remember that you're the Empress. Remember that you are just as much of an Emperor as this is an Emperor. You as much of an Empress as you are an Emperor. So there's something here that, you know, just remember that. Or whoever it is, if it's the other person that needs their kind of Empress energy to go up, they are also an Empress because that's why you're with them in the first place, or that's why you have that energy with them, or why you're even involved with them, sorry. So just remember that. You've also got the Garden of Eden, interesting, because we have that sense of, you know, Adam and Eve kind of vibes. So I think there's just something about you finding the passion again so that you can just go back to the place where you didn't know anything, where you didn't have that experience, where you didn't have the kind of, you know, the kind of heaviness of the experience. You know, there was just that sense of youth and youngness and kind of just joy, you know, when you first get into a relationship, when you're first getting to know each other before everything becomes serious, and then you have to like buy houses and stuff like that. It's that kind of thing. Just enjoying that about each other and remembering that about the relationship. For those of you who are single, it is about you understanding how that part needs to be built, how that part needs to be maintained. The garden needs to be maintained consistently, otherwise the garden will overgrow and it won't be looking like a garden anymore. So you've got gratitude, and yeah, that's thankfulness for everything that you've got. Thankfulness, and I've got a feeling that you are really thankful, but also thankful for that person that you created this with, you know. I do feel a very specific, you know, and also if you want to introduce that energy into your life, gratitude for what that person is going to bring. This is particularly for the singles. But for those of you who are in a relationship, it's having that gratitude. And brimstone, interesting. And then we also have friendship as well. So remember that you're friends as well. Have to be friends with each other. And that's where the joy comes. That's where the sensual, that's what that couple embodied. That they were just really beautiful friends with each other. And that was just the beauty of seeing them together and just celebrating each other, and just, you know, not like today where I see so many people on their phones, like couples that get on the tube or whatever, or get on the train, and they both go straight on their phones and they don't say anything the whole journey. Where, I don't know, if I'm traveling with someone, I make sure that I'm talking to them, and, you know, my phone can wait, it doesn't matter. I remember a time when I didn't have it, and yeah, if I've got the joy of speaking to someone and being in the presence of someone, you know, I'm gonna take that over a phone any day. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did like it, please do like it. Please do subscribe for more videos. I feel so honoured to have channeled this beautiful message from your ancestors to you, my darlings. But otherwise, you take care, and I shall speak to you very soon. Bye.